Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News with me, Katira King. The traditional cloth of the Yoruba people from southwest Nigeria, called ashoke, is typically worn on special occasions like chieftaincy coronations. But now, one fashionable female is fungifying the fabric and transforming it into a staple accessory in our wardrobes. Gbemi Johnson founded her company Oweclad Designs in 2010 out of the need to preserve the traditional heritage of ashoke and adire. She infuses them with leather materials to create extraordinary handbags and accessories while socially impacting lives. Her success at exporting pieces from her culture to the world has earned her several awards both locally and internationally, including her two-time nomination as a finalist at the Independent Handbag Designer Award in New York. Good morning and welcome to the morning show, Gbemi.
Thank you so much for having me.
My.
Thank you so much.
Aren't you an award winner?
Yes,
I mean, with bags like this, it's not hard to see why. Now, let's start with the name of your company.
Okay.
Oweclad. That sounds French.
Yes, it is. It's actually a French derivative word.
Right.
It means brilliant idea.
Right.
Distinction, style. So I wanted something that's very different, and I don't have to, you know, when you want to register your company and you start going back and forth and all of that. So
No
I just
need to
wanted
check if the name's been taken.
So immediately I put it in, it just went through. So I'm like, okay, perfect.
Amazing.
So the O part of it, it's Gbemi, and the Eclair part of it is style, distinction, brilliance, you know, panache, all of that.
Ooh.
So I just merged the two together to form Oweclad.
I love that. Now, you use traditional Nigerian fabrics like ashoke, adire, and even our local leather to create your bags.
Absolutely.
And it's phenomenal to actually behold because, forgive me for saying, but they don't look like they were created in this country. I mean, they look so high quality. The detail on them is superb. Why did you decide to manufacture in Nigeria?
Okay, when I started in 2000, I had the idea in 2010, and, you know, I was researching, trying to check. I actually checked other places where I could produce from, and I won't have any issue with production, which is China, India, and all of that. And I just realized that there's actually some people who make these things here.
Yeah.
The only thing is they don't have the exposure. They don't have the right backing to do it. So I just said, okay, you know what? If I give them the support and tell them this is how I want it, I hope I'll be able to get the result. And, you know, back and forth, it's not actually been very easy, you know, because all the time there's always some tweaks to remove and all of that. But with time, I just, you know, it's been very interesting.
I can imagine. Yeah. Now, something that a lot of artisans and business owners that I speak to tell me is that there are quite a few challenges in the Nigerian manufacturing process.
Absolutely.
What are some of the challenges that you faced?
I would say for me was production.
Right.
You know, finding the right team to work with, let them understand the vision that you have for your business, let them understand the kind of people that you want, that should associate with your business. So finding that kind of people to work with you was very challenging at the beginning because, you know, they're used to just merge pieces together and they're fine. It's made in Nigeria. It's actually not done before. So they were cool with that. So it took me a while for me to get people who can actually put out pieces like this for me, you know, bring my visions to life. So it took me a while, but, you know, so far it's been amazing.
And you started in 2010. I mean, this was way before the Buy Nigeria to Grow the Naira spiel came about.
Yes,
what is it about producing things in Nigeria that caught your fancy way back then? Because you knew it was going to be a challenging road.
Absolutely. So the major thing for me was because I had people who, they told me to learn the skill, handbag making, you know, sandal making and all of that, but they were not putting it to use. You know, you find them on the street doing other things. I was trying to find out what exactly is it that is taking you away from the skill that you learned, the time that you're putting into learning this thing. Why do you want to waste it doing some other thing? So, and it was like, if you produce this, who's going to buy it?
Yeah.
So what's the point? And a lot of times, some of them don't even have the machines to produce these things.
Wow.
So I was able to find a guy who was making shoes, and he didn't have anything. The only thing he has in his shop was just a filing machine. So how could he produce anything?
How does he make the shoes?
So what he does is he has to go to another place to go and queue to have a bag sewn.
Wow.
So what I did was, I knew the first thing I had to do was to get him empowered by providing machines for him. So he was the one that just made me realize that there's so much we can do to empower these people, not just producing the bags, but you can actually empower him to even produce for other people.
Of course.
And with that, I now realized that he wasn't just by himself. He had a lot of people. So those were the reasons, you know, knowing that you can add value to people beyond your handbags. So that was the major reason why I went to it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And in 2010, I mean, I know we just spoke about buy Naija to grow the Naira, but way back then, because even till now, we're starting to embrace our culture a lot more and appreciate things that are being cultivated and created on the continent. But in 2010, people were still trying to carry Gucci and Chanel bags. They were not looking at Nigerian creations. So what has the response been like? What has the difference in response been like since 2010 to 2017?
Okay, in 2010, I had more of international buyers.
Of course, that makes sense.
So I wasn't looking inwards at the time. I was looking at, I need to sell beyond here. I need to sell my Ashoke, I need to sell my tie and dye handbags outside here. So I wasn't even looking inwards to sell. And at the time, I was partnered with a store, a duty-free shop. So I knew my target were people, visitors who were coming in and out. So initially, I wasn't even looking at selling locally.
Yeah.
So from day one, I said, you know what, I'm not even going to try because I might not win selling in Nigeria. So let me not
depress myself.
And you know, I just realized that, okay, buy Nigeria, okay, buy Naira, no problem. Let me just come back here and see that, okay, I think people are beginning to embrace it.
Yeah.
And you know, so he didn't really kill the idea because, so he didn't kill the impact on me because from day one, I knew that Nigerians are not ready for me yet, so let me look for the people who will buy my Ashoke and
what has the response been like now that people are ready?
Oh my God, it's amazing now. It's great. I'm so glad that I didn't give up at the time. I was frustrated, you know, because, you know, sometimes it didn't come, you know, they have seasonal binds.
Yes.
So at the time, sometimes you just have to relax and wait for them, like, okay, we've made a summer buys, we made our autumn buys and all of that. So you had to wait. And, you know, now, if they don't buy...
You got Nigeria, hey!
So I'm looking at what they're buying here. So it's been amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah. Now, the bags that I see in front of me and the ones that we've seen flashing up on the screen, they all have one thing in common. They are colourful, just like Nigerians.
Yes.
What are the inspirations behind your creations?
First of all, it's the people I work with. You know, I love the energy that they put into it. I love the passion that they put into it. So they inspire me a lot. So when I see them and I see black around them, I say, this is not going to brighten the day. We need bright colors. And I feel that a lot of people don't really key into blacks. So I always try to, even if it's just a little bit of bright colors. Yeah. And I know that, you know, I don't want you to wear your green, nice dress and just carry a black bag.
Yeah.
So just carry
something interesting, vibrant, spunky.
So let your bag even start a conversation before anybody even look at your dress.
And they are conversation starters.
So that was the whole essence, you know, trying to create impact and also trying to preserve culture. Nigeria is too colorful and too bright to use boring colors.
I love that. Now, you just mentioned creating impact, and that's really interesting for me because you are a culturally responsible and socially responsible company. You do a lot to empower people that you work with. Talk to me about the impact that you're looking at creating, not just within your community, but on a wider scale for Africa, for the continent.
Recently, before now, I started with trying to impact people, trying to add value. I could go into the market, buy my materials and just give it to a random person. I don't know who he is, get my bag done and all of that. But I wanted it to go beyond that. I wanted to know where you live. I wanted to know how your health is, who's your wife, who are your kids and all of that. I wanted to have a relationship with them. Yeah. So I decided to say, you know what, I've been doing that with all of them. And I realized that I needed to take it beyond the workshop. Right. There's so many other people on the street. So I spoke to someone and I said, you know what, I wanted to start this project. It's called Back to School with Oekla. Yes. I wanted to be making bags for school pupils who don't have, you know, there's so much poverty in the country.
Of course.
And so the money is not going to come from anywhere. We all have to create the impact. We all have to, you know, enrich ourselves. So I spoke to someone and she told me that we could do that. She could work with me on that. And she told me, the school that she told me about was one school in Bariga, and she told me, you know what, Gbemi, this school actually, they don't even have, it's a free school. So, and for some reason, they introduced 50 naira for the pupils.
The 50 naira school fees.
50 naira school fees.
Right.
And half of the pupils stopped
Wow,
school.
they couldn't afford 50 naira school fees.
So I was like, I thought it was,
Wow.
when I wanted to do it, I didn't think it would be that bad. I just thought, there's this thing I wanted to do. You know, casually, you just said, I just want it. And when she told me, I was struck. I was like, there are pupils that can't, you know, parents that can't afford 15. She said,
so what are some of the results of the Back to School project?
It's, you know, the thing is, it's been able to draw some kids back to school. That's because amazing. They now know that some people are interested in them. Some people are interested in their education. This school don't even have their own school uniform. They have to wait on another school to give them school uniforms. They don't even have their own sandals. They don't even have their own books. So everything is relied on some organization or some individual
to assist them.
That is assisting them. So is encouraging some other pupils that are pulled out to come back and say, you know what, I can actually have my education without having to pay for anything at the end of the day. That's amazing.
How many kids have you sent bag to school?
I just started this in September.
Okay.
And I gifted out 40 bags, and I felt bad. It was just 40. Because when I got to school,
you're doing so much though already. Even one bag.
When I got to the school, I told myself, Gbemi, why didn't you do 100? Because, you know, there were more.
Yeah.
And it was sad to just see some kids walk back into the classroom.
Well, don't worry, there's always next year. You can keep it up, keep up the momentum. So we want to know what the next stage is for Oeka Designs.
I like to just take one step at a time. Right now, I'm focusing on the handbags, and hopefully we introduce more things in the future.
That is amazing. And what sort of price point are we looking at for these bags?
For the maxi bag, I call it Michelle because it was inspired by Michelle Obama. She commanded a lot of respect, so I just said, okay, you know what? Let me do that and call it Michelle. And
so this is the Michelle bag?
Yes, that's the Michelle bag.
This is gorgeous.
It is Michelle, but I realized that some people say it's too big. So what I do is, and if you open it, there's another pouch.
Oh.
So when you open it, you're going for a quick meeting and you don't want to go in with your big bag. You can just remove that.
Detachable pouches.
Yeah, so you can just detach that, go for your meeting, come back, put it back. And some people say, oh, no, that's too big, Gbemi. I need something smaller.
So for those that don't like the bigger size, you have the medium sizes,
yes,
the midi size?
So that's the midi size.
Okay.
And that's 35. And I now have the mini one where you
That mini one is beyond gorgeous.
So
this is beautiful. This, so I think I should purchase for my daughter, who I have not yet given birth to. That is gorgeous.
I just see that, okay, you can take this one for your girls' night out and, you know, your date night and all of that.
So for those of my viewers who are as interested as I am to purchase these bags, how can they get in touch with you via social media?
Okay, my Instagram account is at Oekla. My Instagram, my Twitter account, my Facebook account is also Oekla Designs. And you can buy the bags from the online store, oekla.com. And I also work with some retailers because I don't have my store yet. I'm focusing on the workshop, you know,
and impacting people's lives.
Yeah, rather than just open one fancy shop, you know, selling. So I just partner with some other retailers like Grey Velvet in Lekki. Then there's another store in Abuja, Glammed Africa.
Okay.
Where they also help to retail the bags.
Amazing. All right. So we will be visiting the website that we just saw flash on screen, www.oekla.com. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, Gbemi.
Thank you for having me.
That is all from the socially conscious CEO, Gbemi Johnson, as it's time now for a short break on The Morning Show. Stay tuned, as when we return, I'll be speaking with another amazing Ashoke artisan. Don't go away.